It is hard to imagine a more stupid or more dangerous way of making decisions than by putting those decisions in the hands of people who pay no price for being wrong. My guy, Thomas Sowell, and man, he ain't never been right. If you guys don't know nothing about Thomas Sowell, please go check him out. He's written and published over 30 books. He'll open your mind, he'll lead you on the path of freedom and not playing victim with yourself. All right, so go check him out. But anyways, what's up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to day one. Today's Bitcoin price is at $68,210 for one Bitcoin. So I've been wanting to make this channel for a while, and the only way to get better is to actually just dive right in and then build as you go. There's a lot of things that I want to bring to this channel. For those of you who decide to tag along with me and tap in and support, I appreciate you guys, but I'm kind of just doing this. I want a video documentation of my journey. I've been doing a lot when it comes to my health, my wealth, and a lot of other things, and I can give Bitcoin the credit of a lot of that. It's led me on to some paths and some journeys and some rabbit holes that I never would have went down. Maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't have, but it's definitely sped up the process. So I just want to kind of get on here, look at numbers, share some of the things that I look at, some of the things that I pay attention to, and hopefully I can get this to be like an interactive thing. If you guys have any recommendations for me, book recommendations, podcast recommendations, sometimes I have questions. I'll post it on my social media. Sometimes I'll get answers, sometimes I won't. So maybe some of you out there that have better knowledge or can help lead me in the right direction to get some of the information that I'm looking for, we can help each other out. But anyway, so here's day one. Let's dive right in. So first things first, let's take a look at the debt. So if you want to go take a look at this debt, it's usdebtclock.org, and you can see what's going on over here in America. You see the government has a huge spending problem. It's never going to slow down. They have access to the money printer, the Cantillon effect. Those that are closest to the money printer, they have, they're getting all the benefit. They're reaping the rewards from consistently printing money and leaving the citizens with the debt. Me, my family, my friends, a lot of you out there, those of us that don't have access to that money printer. So things are just going to continue getting crazy before they get better, but hopefully we can turn this thing around and go in a different direction. So if you want to take a look at some other things, they have it broken down by state. They have a lot of other information on here if you want to take a look and see what's going on over here in America. But as you can clearly see, number go up. This number just keeps going up. Shout out to Clark Moody for, hopefully I pronounced his name correctly. I just checked him out on social media. It doesn't look like he really posts too much on X. But shout out to him and his team, or whoever he has, if he has anyone helping him make this. This is really dope. This is something that I like to check every single day. I have a notebook where I write some key numbers that are kind of important to me. And depending on what you do out there, depending on where your hands are at in the Bitcoin space, some of these things will be important to you guys as well. But one of the first things I like to look at is the price, the sats per dollar, the market cap. I like to look at the how many transactions we're at. I like to look at how many nodes are running. So this is one of the questions that I have. So at the start of the month, we were hovering around 20,000 reachable nodes here in the United States. Globally, it's been around 50,000 or so, a little bit more. My question is, we had a big drop about midway through July. There was a big drop where the numbers pretty much got cut in half almost overnight. It was within like 2 or 3 days. We were down to the 10,000s and we had got all the way down to 7,000. And then now we're kind of back up in that $19,000 range, or 19,000 reachable nodes. So I'm curious if any of you out there have any type of explanation or know why that number goes up and down so much. So I've done a little bit of research. I've tried to see what I could find. I haven't been able to find anything yet, anything solid. So if any of you out there have maybe any websites or any good book recommendations, or maybe some YouTubers or any recommendations to kind of help me get a better understanding, to understand that a little bit more, I would appreciate it. If not, I'll keep doing the research. And if I come up with anything, I'll let you guys know. So for, a product that people think that's not going to last very long, having over 1 billion transactions since 2009, Seems like we're going to be around here for a while. So keep watching that number, and it has a lot of good fees. And as you can see, you guys can go through and take a look at this. Like I said, it's bitcoin.clarkmoody.com. It will take you right to this dashboard, and just good numbers to check kind of on a regular basis, especially, if you have your wealth or any of your funds stored in Bitcoin. It's good to know what's going on. And so this is something I like to check on a regular basis. If you want to see if Bitcoin is overbought, oversold, you can head over to stockcharts.com. It's a free website. Go up into the search bar, type in $BTC USD, and it will bring you to this right here. If you're not too familiar with RSI or any of these numbers, blue line is the 50-day moving average, meaning the price Bitcoin has been moving at the average over the last 50 days. The red line is the 200-day moving average. You can also go down to the bottom. You can configure it to however you want. I just keep it. This is standard. This is how it will look once you bring it up. If you want to go back, right now I have it on the daily time frame. You can switch it to whatever time frame you want, the weekly, the monthly, yearly, minute time frame, whatever. I just kind of keep it on the daily. Sometimes I'll check out the weekly. And so if you go back pretty far, you can see that if you would have ever bought any time that it was extremely oversold, anything under 30 is considered oversold, anything over 70 is considered overbought. So I have this theory that if you just want to wait till, if you say, hey, I want to put $25 every week into Bitcoin, you can either DCA, which is dollar cost averaging in, or if you think that you have a leg up and have a good time to buy, you can try this. So I'm going to actually try something out, and you guys will kind of see. I'll be a guinea pig for this journey. I'm going to try two different methods. I'm going to try the method of waiting until Bitcoin is considered oversold. And then I'm also going to try a DCA theory out, and then you guys will be able to kind of see how that plays out. So I'll start that tomorrow. I'm going to start out the DCA, and I'm going to do it every Monday. And then I'm also going to put that same portion. So I haven't figured out what number I want to do yet, what dollar amount, but whatever dollar amount I do for my DCA, my dollar cost averaging, I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm going to put that same amount aside and wait for the RSI to get oversold to buy in, and then we'll see how it plays out in due time. Another cool website that I like to go to is charts.bitbo.io. Shout out to these guys as well. They have a lot of good information on here, a lot of different charts. They have some mining information, some moving averages, some price projections, and they have a lot of good things on here right now. What I'm looking at is another version of the RSI. This actually kind of explains it a little bit differently, but pretty much the same thing like I was saying it, but they have a more in-depth explanation. You could also Google what is RSI as well, but this is using the 100 trillion USD as a model. If you want to go check him out, he has some good models and good projections out there. You can see what he has to talk about. Here's if you guys want to get some free sats, Bitcoin Magazine has this 21 days of Bitcoin where, you can learn some basics about Bitcoin if you have nothing, like, or even if you know a little bit about Bitcoin. This is a good way for you to earn 2,100 sats. And as of today, 2,100 sats is $1.45. So you get to get some education, and you get to get some free sats along the way. Eventually we'll get to a point to where one sat will equal $1, at the rate that we're going. So yeah, so stack that on up. Let's see what else we got on here. If you're curious about the nodes, this is one that I was talking about. So this website is cool. It has all the nodes that are running, that are reachable worldwide. So you can kind of get a good idea of who's out there running a node. I'm slacking. I've been talking to my boy Chris. We've both been talking about how we need to get our nodes running. So as as the channel continues to go on and as more time goes on, this is something that's on my radar. And, I'm going to make sure that I'm contributing to the network, right? If you have your money in the network, you should be contributing to the network. It keeps your transactions. You'll be able to, see your transactions and clear them. You don't have to go through anybody else's node. So self custody, and then run your own node, and then you can start growing from there. So we'll see how things go. I also like to take a look at mempool.space. This shows you all the transactions happening that are happening currently, or the ones that are getting ready to happen. So if you are sending someone some money, or you're paying for a transaction, you want to come see where you're at in line, or if you want to get a good idea of what prices, what transaction fees are, you can come on here and get a good idea. They also have a lot of other information on here that you can go on and check them out. So it's a really cool website. Get familiar with that. This platform right here, datarapper.de. Shout out to all my Germans out there. So I don't know exactly. I need to go and see how accurate this is. I personally like using Strike. I'm a supporter of Strike. I like what they got going on over there. And they don't have Strike on here, so it is what it is. But just to give you guys a good idea, just so you guys can have an idea of who has what fees, like I said, double check if you go with one of these platforms. Just double check and see what the fees are for purchasing, withdrawing, and transferring, and things like that. It's good to know. I got kind of hit by not doing my research. When I made a big purchase, I could have went with a different platform and got myself some more Bitcoin. But hey, you live and you learn, and you let go. So this is strike.me. Shout out to those guys over there at Strike. They've been killing it. Like I said, I really like this platform. Very easy to use. And they're continuing to expand all over. If you want to see and compare different exchanges, so an exchange is a place that you're able to go and buy Bitcoin. Some of them have other cryptos. You can go on here and you can compare to kind of get an idea of what fees they have. This website is exchange-flow.co. So you can go on here, see some pros and cons, and then you'll be able to decide what works best for you and where you're at. And like I said, some of these exchanges are only for certain countries. Some of them are not worldwide. Some of them might be just America specific, Mexico specific, Europe specific. So take a look at that and see. Let's see. If you guys are curious to where you can actually spend Bitcoin in your area, there's a map that you can go on. It's btcmap.org. Shout out to them, whoever created this. It's really cool. You can go put your area. So I guess whoever the first person is, let me know where you're at. The first comment I get, if I can get any comments, let me know where you're at. And then we'll take a look and see if there's anything in your area. But if you want to just go and see what's in your area, check out this map, type in your area and see. So recently, I don't know if you guys seen, there was some craziness going on in Barstow with a truck tipping over that had a bunch of lithium batteries or something like that, and things were crazy. Hotels were getting sold out. So just out of curiosity to see what's out in the middle of Barstow. So they got two businesses in Barstow that are registered on this hill. There's an ATM out there. So it looks like there's just two ATMs out there. So if you need to go buy or whatever, they got a couple ATMs out there. And then let's see, the closest area that has a business, Whispering internet service, another ATM. Let's see where the first actual, oh, here we go. We got some hotels. So Big Bear Hostel out there in Big Bear Lake. Shout out to them. And their rental. So you can go use your Bitcoin, spend with them. That's pretty cool. It's been cool. I've been playing on here, checking out, closer to my area and seeing some other areas to get out there. And, I think people should get comfortable spending Bitcoin little amounts, get out there, get comfortable using it, because we're still early. We're still in the future right now, right? So in 5 years, 10 years, it's going to be everywhere, kind of like tap to pay. It's going to get to that point. WTF happened in 1971. I like this website. I send this to a lot of my friends and stuff. Go check out what happened in 1971. If you're not familiar with what happened in 1971, that's when we went off of the gold standard, and that's when things got really crazy. So go check that website out. Some good information on there. Some news of recent. Ledger Flex just came out with something. Ledger gets a lot of backlash, but I guess it's on you to do your research to see if it's a company that you want to use. There's a lot of great companies out there. Someone said something on a podcast that I like. They said, stick with companies that are Bitcoin only. Not saying that these other companies that allow other cryptos on their wallets is bad, or that you can get hacked or anything like that. You have to do your research when it comes to anything. You can't just take anybody's word. You might hear someone with a big page say don't use this, and that just might be because they had a bad experience, or maybe they do know what they're talking about. So take everything with a salt and grain, do your own research, see what companies work for you. But this is a new product that they just came out with. Here are some of the key takeaways. You can go check that out. Some other big news in the space. Senator Loomis proposed a strategic Bitcoin reserve to bolster the U.S. economy. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, when it comes to these politicians and stuff like that, you definitely got to take what they say with a salt and grain. Trump just spoke at Bitcoin 2024, and he had a lot of good things to say. But, clearly, if they're going to speak at an event and they're speaking at a Bitcoin event, obviously they're going to be speaking positive. No one's going to get up on stage and speak negative on it. But we know what the government has done before. I don't know if that's going to ever change. But like I said, just take everything that they say with a salt and grain, and then believe it when you see it. And when it happens, if it happens, then those of you that are hodling will reap those rewards, right? So on to the next thing. If you want to check out the Bitcoin 2024 event that just happened, Bitcoin Magazine, they have it uploaded on their YouTube channel for free. So you can go on here, check it out. I sat and watched pretty much all of it. I heard Trump speak, Snowden. Anytime he speaks, it's always good to listen to. RFK, I really like his message and what he has to say. Of course, Michael Saylor, the GOAT when it comes to this space, leading the way. And then, a few other people that are on here. So if you want to go check out what some of these guys were talking about, this nation state game theory was really good, talking about energy, and a lot of other great speakers on here. So go check that out if you want to. It'll take you probably a few hours to go through all the videos. Some good speakers, a lot of knowledgeable people in this space. That's one of the best things that I like about this space, is that there's people with so many different backgrounds, and I've just been learning about so many different things. One of my favorite podcasts is by Bree Love. He has a great podcast. He brings on a lot of great guests. So shout out to him for continuing to bring guests on that have different views, different opinions, and different backgrounds. And there's a lot of other good Bitcoin podcasts out there as well, but his stands out to me. I like tapping into his, and I like supporting his work and what he does. You can tell he really cares about the space. He's very knowledgeable on what he does. He does a lot of good research, and he's a very good host on his show. He lets people speak. He has very great questions. And, that's one thing that will kind of turn me off from a lot of podcasts, is people will interrupt someone, or they don't have good questions. It's not a very good flow. So shout out to him for having his stuff on lock. Another thing that I want to show you guys is right here on the economic data at the Federal Reserve Bank. This is what our dollar is doing. It's just been going down. As you can see, our purchasing power of all the consumer dollar in the United States average is just been going down. Okay, so no matter what you believe in, and this is a better visual, this visualcapitalist.com is really cool. They got a lot of cool visuals on here I like to go on and just take a look at. But no matter what you think, whether if you think Bitcoin is going to stay around, whether if you think Bitcoin is a scam, whatever you do, just please don't save your money in the dollar. And you have to look at it like this: if the purchasing power is going down, and whatever it is that you do, if you're making dollars, if your job pays you in dollars, if your investments, you get dollars back, you're getting paid in a system where the dollars continue to melt. A good analogy that a lot of people have used is the dollar is like an ice cube sitting on the counter. It's melting. Literally the second that you put that ice cube on the counter, it's starting to melt right away. The moment that you get paid any dollars, however you get the dollars, they're slowly melting right away. As soon as they touch your hands, they've already been melting, just from the simple fact of the Fed continuing to keep printing the money. They keep keep putting us in more and more debt, as the first slide that I showed where to go, the second one actually. You know, you see number just keep going up. So we're here. Day one, got this thing out the way. Like I said, I can only grow from here. I need to get a mic. There's a lot of things I need to do. I'm looking forward to. So if you guys have any mic recommendations for me to get, let me know. Some good lighting. I need to get a good setup. So if you guys have any good recommendations for me, please, some good books. Some books that I'm currently reading right now. I'm always reading Tom and Soul, but I'm currently listening to A History of Money and Banking in the United States by Murray and Rothbard. Go check that out. He breaks down everything perfectly. So go check that out. I got a good collection back here. I got Fiat Ruins Everything, the Bitcoin Standard, Broken Money, Proof of Money, The Price of Tomorrow. Thank God for Bitcoin. But if you want to get started, I always tell people these two right here. These are the two that I recommend. Broken Money by Lynn Alden. This book is amazing. I've listened to this book. I've read this book about 4 times now. I've listened to it 3 times and I've read it once. And then also the Bitcoin Standard by Saifedean. So some great books. These two will get you started. They will explain a lot. The Bitcoin Standard and Broken Money. So that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, I appreciate you tapping in. If you tap in, and we'll keep this thing going, and let's see, hopefully we got good things coming soon.